All right, Drew, this week we're diving deep into my dreams, and your dreams with this crazy world of imagination.
Nate, you and I jumped in on the PS4 to a very unique title.
Man.
Media Molecule has finally launched Dreams. This has been in production since the PS4 was announced.
Wow.
So to finally have it actually in our hands. Now you and I are coming at this from two different perspectives, and no, you're not really feeling it as much as I was. What do you think?
So this game, is it a game or is it a creator's tool to make games, make videos, make almost anything you want? It kind of took me back, man, to like that Gary's Mod, you know, Super Mario Maker, but just way more in depth, and wow.
There's a lot to unravel within this thing. This is Media Molecule's next evolution, coming from Little Big Planet into what this basically comes into a whole video game production suite. This is kind of how I'm approaching it now. I come at it from an artistic perspective, where you're more of just a gamer, right? Either way, nothing's wrong with that at all. But for me, man, I fell in love.
So let's dive into, there's two sides. There's where you just straight up get to experience or play other people's experiences.
Yep, their dreams.
Or their dreams. Or then you get to create your own.
Yeah.
So I messed around with the creative tool, but I mean, like you said, you're the artsy guy and I'm the gamer more, I guess, on this side of things. So it's just very heavily, you know, it's just so good.
It's good, but it can be overbearing, right? There's a lot to, once you, like, I can't wait to actually sink a lot more time into this. I've put in hours at this point, but I find myself all over the place. Not in one specific, like, one certain direction at all. I'm over here. Next thing you know, I'm checking out the community challenge, and I'm in there for hours. And then I'm over here building my own stuff, and then developing my own levels and my own characters. And then I'm out looking at what other people have created. Not the community challenge, but other people's dreams. And then I jump into the actual campaign that Media Molecule have developed here. And that, dude, that there is just a testament of what can be done in Dreams. Now, from what I've seen within the community, everybody's getting to that, like, okay, it's coming.
We're in the infancy stage of this game, so
yeah, it is early, but Media Molecule shows you what is capable. That whole campaign scenario is a mixture of point-and-click adventure, third-person adventure, top-down, shmups, shooters, this, that. It's like kart racing. It's got everything mixed into this one giant trip of a game.
And it's all, so there's a little bit of a story, and it's kind of following this guy, Art, and how he kind of leaves the band, but he's kind of a crusty older guy.
Well, he's got self-doubt setting in, right? And I get that, especially coming from an artistic perspective, because as an artist, a lot of us doubt ourselves. We doubt our own abilities. So I really gravitated with Art's character and felt his purpose and why he left the band. But then it's all experiencing his dreams and coming back to the band.
It is just, I don't even know what else to say other than it's really just cool, man. Like, it's so imaginative. It's awesome.
Well, I played that part, but the whole time I'm going, how did they do that? How did they do that? How did you, like, a lot of people will go, they'll go to Unity, they'll go to Unreal 4, then you use like 3ds Max or Maya to develop the characters, import them to Unity and all that kind of stuff and start building their game from there. This is all created within Dreams. And it blows me away to think of, you can go from a cutscene into the gameplay, back to a cutscene, change camera angles and pan it right around, make all your models. Everything is done within this, and you can produce your own game. Like, I'm flabbergasted that that's even possible.
I know, man.
Now, Nate, the biggest thing behind something like this creation is the community, and that's going to drive this game further. This game is going to go into the PS5 generation and continue to grow and expand from there. Now, the problem with that is, as we get bigger as a community for this game, you got to be able to weed out the not so good stuff over the great content that's in there, because there are some good content that's being developed right now, and we've experienced some of it, and then we've experienced the other side. Some of us like to tinker around and try to develop a level. Like, hey, there's challenges within this that unlock other things. It allows you to, if you played Little Big Planet, you get these little balls that you go around and it gives you stickers and all that kind of stuff. Well, these are like props and things within this game. So you got to go collect these little balls in Art's challenge, and that unlocks other things. So again, that's the next evolution for Media Molecule moving forward into this. But again, it comes back to the curation on the community of, I don't want to waste my time. I don't have a lot of time. So to spend hours playing the not so good stuff versus the really good stuff. But there are picks of the week, and Media Molecule will have their recommended. And so there's other things like that. And
I did like that. The way it's kind of laid out is they have, you know, your subsections. So the one, like you said, community challenge. One of them, when I was playing, they had pick the cheese. So people actually created all these different cheeses, and then you had to like name them. All these French cheeses. I didn't know any of these except for like original cheddar. I think it was.
Oh man!
But again, it was just really. First of all, the cheese looked real, so that was incredible.
Wow.
But then just you know. Just a silly thing that someone was able to do.
Well, the breakfast one. Did you see the breakfast one?
Nope.
With the sausage and eggs and the French toast. Oh, man.
Okay, I see the hot dog and the fries. That's the one I actually stayed there for like 5-10 minutes.
You look at the fries and you're just like, whoa.
Wow. It looks really good.
And that was made in Dreams. To me, but right now, what we're seeing a lot of being developed in Dreams is just more of this pastel-like feel. Soft, fluffy colors and that kind of color palette. And even when you're building the game, that's what you're working with. So to see that is possible within here, it kind of makes me wonder how they get there and how do you get developed to that. Is that someone obviously that works at Media Molecule developing this stuff, that where they really know the ins and the outs of this program versus, I wouldn't call it program, but Dreams the game.
Pretty much a program.
Like, well, it is, right? But it's so deep and so complex. When I was getting into it, all I wanted to do was make some rocks fall. So I'm building my little level. And they give you this palette to start with. So I deleted the floor, completely got rid of the floor, and put it in water. And then I've had platforms bounce around. I have some go through the water and back up. So it's a platforming level I've created, right? So it's really cool. And
That's pretty sweet. You made your first game, man.
I did, right? So you got some pendulums that come down. So if they hit you, you're dead. But I've changed it. So as you're walking through, all of a sudden you get to one platform. The camera angle drops and turns up. And it goes to all these rocks and stuff. And the rocks are going to fall. If I can figure out how to make it do all this stuff, right? So I know it's possible. It's just a matter of
There's a learning curve.
Oh,
My
the learning
goodness.
curve is so deep.
It's not the game for the the noobs, I guess I could say.
It is simple, but it's complex. It's a matter of how far do you want to take your creation. And if you don't want to make a level, you don't have to make a level. You can make music, you can make art, you can make 3D models and have them imported for other creators to take them. So you don't have to, if you don't want to do a level and you go, you know what, I'm just gonna make art or just make music for this game. You can make music and then you can collaborate with other people and then you team up. All of a sudden you're all now working on this one project. Like
I really appreciate that. Like some of them, one of the coolest ones we saw, a little cooler for you than me, but was Fallout.
Yes.
You actually kind of got to experience the world of Fallout through Dreams. And honestly, the music, they hit it spot on. They rebuilt the power armor and it looked almost perfect, man. Yeah. So that was just really cool. But along with that, they give you a warning with some of these games that if you have the original PS4 like myself, or the PS4, or as opposed to the PS4 Pro, then you will have some issues. Like I had some major frame rate issues and it was choppy. So there is a little bit of hindrance with owning the original PS4. But for the most part, there's only a couple games where I experienced that. And they kind of warned you too.
Yeah, and they're also working on bringing in VR. VR is something that's coming right now when you're sculpting and making your levels or whatever you're doing. You can use the motion wands. So you have the ability to use that or the DualShock.
Yeah, no, I'm not a motion guy.
Yeah, I've got them connected and working with them. It's cool. A little complex because all of a sudden you're moving things without analog sticks. And my biggest problem with this, honestly, is the camera. When you're trying to pivot around, and sometimes I'm holding L1 and trying to push up on the right stick, and sometimes you move up, and then sometimes I don't. I just turn over. I'm just like... So for me, it's getting used to how I'm positioned to actually maneuver my camera around the world, which can be a little complicated and a little convoluted at times.
All right, Drew, so we clearly, we had very different sides of the spectrum with this game.
Yeah.
But we also ultimately, I think we both liked it.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're going to wrap up this game, what are you going to score it, man?
For me, I'm looking at it as the perspective of an artist. So for me, it's a little bit different. I'm coming at it as a gamer, but more of the artist side. So the possibilities here for me are endless, that I can create whatever I want. And I'm not a music guy, so I'm gonna reach out to others to help me with that side of things. But when I'm able to get my creation going, and then I play Art's Dream and see what's really possible in this thing, man, this is endless. It is a perfect rendition of what I want to do moving forward. Wanting to make my own game, this gives me the ability to do that. And I'm there with the 10.
Oh, wow, man. So, like you said, our experiences were a little different. I'm more on the gamer side of things. Yep. And although there are some really cool, mini games that are created, ultimately it just wasn't like a fleshed out game per se.
Yep.
But that all being said, this game still gets an 8.5 because it is phenomenal.
Nice.
Dreams is an experience for both the gamer and the artist. Through this imaginative game, you get to explore games, create worlds, videos, and music. Although still in its infancy stage, there is still a lot of content with a long future of free updates and DLC plans.